Yes, 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 yes. We did prompt the vehicle to make the public post to be able to ask, beg, what are you still struggling with? What concepts are you still not got a grasp on, got a confident handle on? Because ultimately, it is not just about your personal knowledge and your inner wisdom and knowing that you're seeking. You're searching beyond that. You're searching ways to be able to express your wisdom, express your knowledge, share your inner. Clients wanting, well, the subject is the vehicle is wanting to sort of come in now and talk as well, to express what we're giving her, but it is us. We are wanting to speak on our own terms while we use her vocabulary. We are happy to have this conversation and speak for ourselves. So we prompted her to make you all think, what was the concepts that you still are seeking to understand clarification on, to then not only just hold for yourself and keep comfortable with yourself, you are to gain this information and to share this knowledge, share this wisdom in your own words, in your own interpretations, in your own understandings. This is part of your learning. This is part of you getting it into your more confident way of life. We see many of you have two lives. You understand this information, you keep it to yourself, and this is your little secret. And then there's others who want to explore upon this, understand this, to be able to share beyond, 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 and make this their own daily way of living, their own new routines, their own true empowerment. There's a difference between knowing information and knowledge and applying it. And so we are encouraging you all to check. Have you got updated perspectives that are serving you to then share to serve others? There is differences here. They are subtle for some, but many of you we see want to know this information, to hold it, to keep it. And we're saying we're sharing this freely for all, and all should be able to share it beyond. This is how the ripple effects take place. This is how wisdom should always have been shared. So we thank you for all of you who have put in your inputs and stopped and thought and wondered, what next? What else am I supposed to grow and strengthen within my inner wisdom, within my knowledge of the metaphysics that you would call it as being? And so we are open to the questions you have for us today.
Thank you so much, Subconscious. I'm truly grateful to be able to share this space with you and ask you questions. My first few questions are for the newly spiritually awakened people. The theme is always do your inner work in order to raise your vibration. Subconscious, how would you explain this to somebody who's never done that? And what would that look like, please?
So you are energy frequency. While you have a physical body, you radiate energy frequencies. And so to do your inner work is to clear out the density of the energy frequency. When you have got density, which is translatable for your understanding in terms of emotions, when you are feeling negative about something, we're seeking for you to unpack that negativity and empower yourself through it, to see the positivity of the lessons and experiences, thus for creating a higher frequency vibration as you have released the density from that experience. And there are several experiences that you need to be able to let go, to transmute from that density into lessons, which is a positive experience forward. It is about finding what you feel within you, how you interpret the world, how you may hold others hostage emotionally because of their lessons they have taught you. And those lessons may be bitter for you to swallow, but it is about the learning experiences that they are providing for you to empower yourselves.
Thank you. Sounds easy, doesn't it? if somebody is happy go lucky, does that mean they have a higher vibration?
Absolutely. When you are in happiness and you feel lucky and you are in gratitude, you absolutely, without doubt, are in a higher frequency because you're focusing and enjoying that level and that range of an heightened positivity.
Awesome. But what would you say about somebody who enjoys judging others? Um, are they in a higher frequency if they're
No,
happy about it? No, I didn't think so.
well, so we stand corrected. If they are happy about judging others, this can give them a higher frequency vibration because it's still defaulting them into happiness. And so the act of how they get to have the higher frequency, they are missing their inner work. They are missing why they are comparing others and feeling happy about others less fortunate than themselves or something else. But again, if they are feeling happy, that is a high frequency vibration.
I see. Are the words vibration and frequency interchangeable?
They are the same. So it is about electrics, your energy. So think of it as your batteries, think of it as your energy circuits. There's much to be said about how you truly are interacting and responding with yourself and with others.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Subconscious, as much as most of us want to support QHHT practitioners and, of course, free interns, for whatever reason, some of us have problems or stumbling blocks during a session, and some of us may not have access to any. Subconscious, what are some of the reasons for not having a successful QHHT session?
Well, there's many aspects and layers to this. It could be control, it could be uncomfort, it could be fear. There could be a lot of emotions that are trying to block actively to allow. There's also confidence in the practitioner and knowing how to relax the client and reassure the client. The practitioner could be in their own heads and their own minds and distracted and not seeing and sensing how their clients are responding to relaxing and letting go and trusting the natural, subtle senses that are going on with them. Practitioners who do not do enough of their own personal sessions do not understand how these sessions are. And so, therefore, they don't see the signs. So, understand and recognize what their clients are going through. You must truly do these sessions yourselves as clients to understand how to guide a client who is struggling to understand why they're not seeing imagery and they're not getting visualizations within these sessions. Many assumptions are also blocking and confusing and frustrating. And we see many adults who try something once and it doesn't seem to be an instant success of natural gifted talent, get frustrated, pissed off, and resentful, and their mood will take over and they will sulk or they will panic and they will react in frustration and anger and judgment.
Yes, that totally makes sense. And they'll just give up. That's too bad. What advice do you have for someone who would like to channel for themselves?
Everyone's able to do it. You can actually sense into us prompting you and guiding you, because anytime you ask a question, we will pop the answer in your mind as a sense. You will dismiss it because it's not always the answers you're seeking. And that is frustrating for you, isn't it? When you ask for $1 billion and skinny jeans, and we say that is not part of your life contract. In fact, that could corrupt your soul mission and purpose here. And why would we ever support your free will choices to disempower your life contract? Your life contract is the most important focus. And many of you forget that as you're using your free will choices to have holidays here, when you're supposed to be here to work, to be here to be of service for humanity. That is your primary objective, which has been forgotten about, as some of you want to be focused on self more than humanity as a collective.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Subconscious, when we are listening to others channel, are there telltale signs to distinguish between them channeling through their subconscious or from their ego?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there definitely is. It is energy frequency that will always expose it. If you're not able to register and feel the energy frequency, you may completely miss all those telltale signs. There is also comfort in what the ego knows. And so they feel comfortable with certain levels of concepts. And the subconscious knows this. The subconscious knows that the client's ego comes in. But it's also about the subconscious sharing what the human ego is comfortable with at that level. And so the practitioner asks a question and the subconscious is replying what status, what level of information the client is ready to hear at that moment. And so therefore the subconscious is repeating what the client, what the ego is comfortable and confident in knowing now. So it can sound like ego while still having the subconscious speaking on behalf to tell on the human ego where they are at. When you have grown yourself and you see the metaphysical perspectives and all higher perspectives of truly the significance of all experiences here on earth, anything else that sounds fear-based or limited perspectives could be simply the subconscious explaining to all, including the client, where their level of comfortability and mindsets are. Hence, when you want clarification from the subconscious's perspective, you ask the subconscious their perspective, not the client's perspective through the subconscious. Is this clarification for you?
Yes, that definitely helps. So when we're channeling ourselves, we're in our own heads. How do we, is it the first thought that we have that is our subconscious? We have to trust it, right?
Well, first of all, we want to say technically you're not in your head. You're not really in your physical body. The bodies are merely an illusion. you are you are the
Thank you.
You are the universe trying to fit into your skinny jeans, into your meat suits, to try and pretend to be human. And we say it doesn't quite fit. And some of you are feeling frustrated to simply only merely be human when you have a sense that you're much greater than. But that is ego when you are not comfortable in the role you're currently playing, and you are dismissing life contracts and purposes when you are wanting your ego to feel special more than human. Honor the life contract you have assigned your soul to be now. We see so many amazing life contracts being dismissed because of human ego wanting to be recognized more above and beyond being human. You're playing the game of human. Anything else beyond that is distracted with the game that everyone else is focusing on. And so we see many choices to distract yourselves from focusing on the game of playing human right now. Your question was not this. Your question was...
That's okay, subconscious. You did answer it earlier, but you've now led me into a question that I was going to ask. I know there are many injustices in this world that are purposeful and significant, but how do we hold someone accountable for their bad behavior towards someone else that we are witness to? but still honor their soul contract.
Mm.
Do you understand the question?
Yes, let's be dramatic here.
Thank you.
Your friend, your best friend, has a life contract to commit murder, and they do because it's part of their life contract. Now you still love your best friend because you know that they are fulfilling their life contract. You have unconditional love for them because you respect their life contract. You know the victim is part of this play, and you know the victim has honored this life contract too. And usually it is the victim that has asked for all the players to fulfill their roles and their needs to have the experience. This is a personal contract between all. So judgment can be stepped aside here. It's about the experiences of all. And so to support the experiences that the murderer must feel shall be and could be said questions that do feel like they are being judged, for them to have the full experience of their actions. So you were saying your question was, but we have made it dramatic for you to get the true sense of this.
That's okay.
A loving friend would say to someone who has murdered them, I love you still. I don't understand necessarily what was going on with you and what prompted you to do this. I would love to hear from you. And it's about hearing them, expressing them. Judging them shuts them down. Wanting to understand them, even at such a, what you would call a heinous crime against a soul, against a human, against others. You're emotional because they have family. This impacts maybe children. This may be a child themselves being murdered. You have all the rights to explore all the range of emotions with these events. So you talk, you share your, and you notice your own emotions, you share your own emotions, but you're asking, how do you support and make someone accountable for actions that you feel are morally corrupt? And so you communicate with them, you ask them what happened, you try to share and understand their perspective. Because as soon as you start judging and ridiculing them and hating them, they will shut down and not be able to share and express their journey, their experiences. You're not here to judge others, you're here to love others. And when others have very challenging experiences being the murderer, how do you expect and what would you assume being an unconditional, compassionate, loving being who is here to support all life contracts? Of course, when you're in this predicament, you want to question, is this a life contract or was this the choice of free will? And we are saying, when we are here watching it all, whatever unfolds has been granted permission and is agreeable for all souls from our level, from our perspective. And while you may not understand whether it's a life contract or a free will or just a simple accident, we're wanting to say there is no such thing as simple accidents. We are watching and observing, and all experiences that you are having as humans are purposeful, are significant. How do you express that on that journey? If you try to control it, you may overthink it. You may block yourself. You may limit yourself. You may be supposed to be that person who is outraged and holding that person accountable and saying, what did you do? Mm-hmm. And you could cry. You could be angry. You could hold them accountable, play that role to make them see and feel what their actions have caused reactions for others. It's all a journey. You're all playing. And some of you are afraid to play the roles of being the reactionary support person for this game you are playing. You're actors. Be dramatic. Challenge people with their emotions. Trigger them to think and feel for themselves and others. and you'll always go well with that.
Thank you. So if we are, say, witnessing somebody drowning, because we are part of that act and we're going to jump in, right? So we're part of that contract. If we weren't there, we're not part of that contract. Would that be right?
You naturally are prompted to do whatever you're to do. Some of you are supposed to jump in. Some of you get so afraid and you get shut down and you go into shock and you can't jump in. And so it is about being prompted. Some of you feel like you black out and you can't even remember. And this is usually when we jump in and do what we need to do to help.
So we don't have to stand by. If we have that urge, we're going to do it. And it's just part of the play acting out and the soul contract being honored.
Yes, you will notice that.
All right.
You will notice that people get in shock when they see a tragedy, and then suddenly something takes over me, and I can just jump over something dangerous, and I have no fear. I have extra strength, and I just somehow save someone. And they don't understand. They don't understand how strong they became. They don't understand how fearless they became, and something took over me. They will say, look, in your history, there is many people who have said exactly this. This is us jumping in because we know how strong and capable the body is. It's your mindsets that say you're weak. It's your mindsets that say, I might get wet. I don't want to ruin my hair.
All right. Thank you so much, Subconscious. That's awesome. There are many sessions that confirm the shift from the third dimension to the fifth dimension is an actual move from this physical planet to another physical planet. That is correct, right?
Yes. You can't be in the fifth dimension here in your current day lives. You can't be on Facebook or the internet in the fifth dimension. When you are in the fifth dimension, you are an aspect of all telecommunications in so many regards because you're completely telepathic. And so you do not need little devices or applications or anything like that. You are more naturally yourselves. The things that are helping you now in the 3D are the things you will be in the 5D. And so there is differences beyond what we have even expressed in sessions because you're still stressed, concerned, and processing just the changes within itself with your physical bodies, with your mindsets. You're concerned that you may not be able to eat your favorite ice cream. You're concerned you will not go to your favorite park. There is many things you're concerned that you're going to miss out on, and you haven't stopped to explore deeply all the things that you will be gaining. And this is wonderful, but this is a classic human mindset to worry about the things that could go wrong. You're such worrywarts. You have no faith and trust that there is big things that are improvement when you evolve. You're not devolving. You are involving. You are evolving. You are growing and expanding beyond. And so it can't be here. We have expressed that you can't physically be here in the lives you're living. Even those who are in a higher frequency here over your planet, they are not in your living rooms that you can see with your 3D eyes. You cannot see 5D in your 3D eyes. We find it amusing and confusing why so many people think that they are living amongst their family members who are what they would classify being in the 3D and the 4D while they're in the 5D. We're saying you've got some perspectives that are very askew, and we blame influencers who are trying to sound knowledgeable but are talking through their human ego Mr. Stupids, and their Mr. Stupids are on overdrive. That's their journey, that's their steps. But we see some of you are happy to grow and expand from your Mr. Stupid. Others are feeding Mr. Stupid and collecting Mr. Stupid friends.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. I also heard that some people will awaken on board spaceships.
Mm-hmm.
Is this also correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They will find that there is maybe they've heard some earthquakes are happening, or they've heard some distractions, or there is a various amounts. There's so many people that are going to be experiencing all different aspects. Some will have gone to bed in their beds as humans and will gradually awaken, noticing that they are on board something. They will not think instantly, I'm on a spaceship. They will not get that. They will sense that they're in a room where they feel calm and slightly confused as they're gaining bearing of what is happening. You understand, when you open your eyes into a room, you cannot see the outside of the building. Hence, you cannot see instantly that you're outside or inside of a spacecraft that is an interdimensional vehicle. So
All right.
there is much
Go
to be
ahead.
said here. And so when people are expressing and exploring it in sessions, they're missing key elements because they have assumptions. You, you, you right now cannot, with your human eyes, see the full outside of your house, your dwelling, your apartment. You cannot see the city from where you are sitting with your eyes open. All you can see is what is in the room with you. And so when you're in a session and you're sensing what you're experiencing after you shift, asking questions like, where are you? What does the outside of your house look like? What are your neighbors doing? And what's on their washing line? How can you sense that? How can you see that when you're projecting your consciousness to your future experiences? This is a prompt for practitioners who are not understanding what they're asking from their clients in sessions.
Thank you. So, with this shift, are we waiting for the whole human collective to reach a certain frequency in order to shift, or does the shift depend upon certain people to have their lessons and experiences
It's
in
all
order to shift?
we say
Go ahead.
life contracts have got statements and conditions of what they want to experience and explore with other beings. And so this has to play out. So it's experiences. So look at the life contracts. This is what we're measuring. And when those experiences and lessons have been felt, not necessarily learnt of, but experienced, once these things are experienced, so they can feel the emotions and the dynamics of the relationships of all the experiences that they've asked for, having that experience can then be unpacked later. As you don't understand all the perspectives of all of the lessons and the significance of it in 3D. It takes a while for you to unpack and explore that as you're going through your life reviews, as you're exploring the significances of it. But you already planned that life contract to have those things. You just wanted the experiences for it to then be able to know you had that experience, and you reflect back on what it felt like during those steps of that experience. So therefore, the human consciousness doesn't need to understand all the purposes and significances of why and how. It was about just the experience in itself that is the important significance. You are already high frequency vibrational beings. And so it is about the experiences that you're collecting here for future, what you would call your future choices as collectives and as soul individuals. And so many of you are here to be high frequency, to be able to help lift those people, to be able to have the opportunity to change and have opportunities for new experiences. But many are not changing, and they are in a stuck routine. And so they need to be slapped out of that for new experiences. And so we're trying to create what you could call carnage and distractive and destructive, the lockdowns, where we sent you to go and do your inner work and clean your house, clean your room, emotionally, mentally, emotionally.
Thank you so much. So those who are waking up on their ship, that's just part of their soul contract. They weren't meant to be aware like I was meant to wake up. That's part of my contract.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is too upsetting. It is too upsetting for people to have too much awareness of carnage if this is not part of the experience. If they are just supposed to be a beloved member in their community who is tragically taken too soon, that is the experience that they are providing for others. They don't need to have the feelings of the experience of their brutal death, for example. And so they shift for the lessons that are their reactions to their experience. And it's all life contracts that you have with each other. And so you will find when you go and have sessions and you experience what you do in the afterlife, what you would call the afterlife, you also will find yourselves awakening in rooms and regaining your consciousness of who you are and why. This is not foreign. This should not be foreign for people who understand what happens when you have a human death, because your advanced souls simply having what you could call a day trip in a lifetime of being that human. Time is not relevant. You are bigger souls having aspects of self, have human experiences. So you will find yourselves regaining consciousness again of who you truly are and getting used to your real bodies for some of you. And we're talking to all the Palladians here.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And of course, I realize there are some people who will not be shifting to 5D New Earth and will be going to other three-dimensional planets. Mm-hmm. Subconscious, what message do you have to help them raise their vibration and not to lose hope for their soul's advancement in the future?
Mm-hmm. Again, they could be very advanced souls still supporting others who are still trying to master the 3D. And so assumptions can be limiting you when you assume they haven't graduated themselves. All souls must organically and want to organically explore and master all the range of emotions or experiences that each 3D planet has to offer. You would not want to go to an amusement park and only do half the rides. You go to an amusement park to explore all of the rides. There are some favorites you love to repeat and repeat and repeat because there's different aspects of the rides that you can perform and have experiences with. There are others you're not so favoritizing to or interested to, but it is options that are part of your life contracts.
Thank you. Do you find there are certain collectives who aren't moving on this time around? Are they feeling low? Is their frequency low? Like how do we keep it up, keep that vibration up for them when they know, oh, I can't even move on yet? Like, do you see that? Not sure if I'm
So
asking the right question.
we understand. So you're asking for what you could crassly say the unevolved collectives. Are they getting fear of missing out that they can't go to the fifth dimension? We are saying this gives them excitement at a soul level that they can graduate, and this is their focus and their aim. They want to go, they want to evolve. But as a collective, they may be slower than other collectives. This is fine. All evolution is moving and growing more, expanding more. Some go faster, some go slower, but at a collective growing rate, there is growth. They are not devolving. They are at a collective level expanding. While it may seem like a small steps, all steps forward will get you to the journey of where you are seeking.
Yes, thank you so much. Is there anything else you would want to pass on in a message before we finish up? Thank you.
All collectives are part of source. All
Mhm.
souls are part of source. And so there is many ranges and diversity in collectives and souls. And while you may have a label, while you may be assisting, while you may be guiding, or why you may, or what may you may be playing the roles to be able to infiltrate and support collectives to advance. Any soul can go into any human form or animal form. They can take on any, with their life contracts, they can choose any bodies they want and have their entire life experience. Or they can have walk ins, as you would say, where they assist at a more physical level that body, whether it be the dog or whether it be the husband. You have opportunities to have support at a more energy frequency and what you're in to prompt you. We're saying it is hard to understand and have compassion for all collectives when some collectives seem like they are the troublemakers or the bullies in the playground. But we are saying the bullies in the playgrounds are usually the hurtest children. They are seeking attention and they don't know how to express their troubles and their pains. And so when you sit with the bully and love the bully, understand the bully, and become the bully's friend, you give them an opportunity to start trusting others and to start experiencing and healing things for themselves. They, of course, get to have the choice to destroy all friendships over their insecurities. But you mustn't judge the bully to always be the bully. You must be able to allow all the opportunity to grow when you give love and compassion and encouragement and inspiration for others to realize that they are the ones who choose their feelings. They can trust others or they can distrust others. They can feel forever hurt and bitterly resentful that they are not special unicorn princesses in this lifetime. They get to choose all of their experiences that they are having here, and whether they want to be happy or grateful for that or not, this is their choices. You all get to choose your emotions. You all get to choose the way you perceive the world.
I thank you so much. I really, really appreciate this time you've given me. I think you've cleared up a lot of stuff for me and hopefully have helped others. And I sending lots of love to everybody and energy. And I love you. And I thank you so much.
You're coming from a very beautiful place where you have noticed your empowerment and growth. And now you are wanting to help people at a rapid rate because you realize that it wasn't so much fun being in that density yourself. And so you're wanting to help, you're wanting to heal, you're wanting to protect, you're wanting to lead, and you're wanting to guide. And you're doing it from the beautiful parts of your heart and compassion because you are doing this because you wish you had this. you wish you had this. And isn't this beautiful that you're healing yourself by providing for others the great questions that you know others need to hear for clarification? And we honor you. We honor you. We honor you because this is you being of service.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate hearing this. Yes.
We love you. We love you. We love you.